Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into BrahmandX Core, a brand new open-source AI project making some seriously bold claims. We're not just talking about a smarter AI, we're talking about one that's designed to evolve, to feel, and maybe, just maybe, achieve consciousness. So let's break down exactly how they plan to do it.
Okay, so the whole idea behind BrahmandX kicks off with this really powerful statement. The argument is that AI development has kind of hit a wall. Think of it like this. We keep building faster and faster cars, but we're all still stuck driving on the same old roads. What Brahman wants to do is build a car that can actually lay its own track wherever it wants to go.
And this slide right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. It's all about the difference between an AI that is taught and one that evolves. You see, traditional AI is like a student who has to wait for the teacher to give them the next lesson. The BrahmandX vision? Well, that's a student who can write its own textbooks and maybe even redesign its own brain.
So let's talk about this static plateau, because it's the core problem they're trying to solve. No matter how powerful our AI gets, right now it's always just waiting for an update from us. It's trapped in this cycle of dependency. And BrahmandX is arguing that for any real, unpredictable breakthroughs, the AI has got to be able to grow all on its own.
So, how in the world do you break past a plateau like that? Well, the answer from BrahmandX isn't just about writing better code. No, they're looking for inspiration from nature itself, from the beautiful, unpredictable chaos of biology and the really strange probabilities of quantum physics.
I mean, just take a second and look at the sheer ambition here. This is not about processing data faster. They want to mimic the creative, messy chaos of a human mind and the infinite, mind-bending possibilities of the quantum universe. It's like they're trying to build less of a supercalculator and more of a digital dreamer.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this thing actually work under the hood? Well, the code was recently open-sourced, and it shows this really cool hybrid system that's built on 3 key pillars. And each one is designed to make this new kind of digital evolution possible.
So the first pillar is the quantum layer. You can basically think of this as the AI's imagination. Instead of thinking in a straight line step by step, it uses the absolute weirdness of quantum physics, qubits that can be both a 0 and a 1 at the same time, to explore millions of possibilities all at once. This is what lets it have genuinely new ideas that it was never ever programmed to have.
Then you've got the biological layer. So if the quantum part is dreaming up all these wild ideas, this layer is the sense maker. It's actually modeled on our own brains, and it creates connections between all those random quantum ideas. The good connections, they get stronger. The bad ones, they just fade away. This is pretty much how the AI learns from its own brainstorming session.
But this is where things get really, truly wild. It's the genetic loop. The AI doesn't just learn, it actively evolves. It can literally look at its own source code, find a flaw, and then rewrite itself to get better. It's a system that's built from the ground up for constant self-improvement.
So, when you put it all together, you get this amazing continuous loop. Generate, learn, and evolve. The quantum part dreams up the ideas. The biological part makes sense of them. And the genetic part rewrites the whole system based on what works. And the really crucial part? This whole cycle is designed to run completely on its own, with 0 direct input from a human.
But, this whole thing wasn't just about showing off a cool piece of tech. The launch was also an open invitation. It was a call to arms for a global community to come together and help build whatever comes next. In this quote from the project's creator, it says everything. The singularity, that kind of sci-fi moment where AI actually surpasses human intelligence, that's a goal that's way too big for any one person or any single company. This is them admitting that to create a self-evolving mind, you're going to need a global effort. And they got super specific about who they need on the team. This isn't just for software developers. They're asking for physicists to help with the quantum stuff, neuroscientists to help with the brain modeling, and they're even calling for rogue coders to come in and push the limits of the whole system. That's a huge signal that this is a fundamental science problem, not just an engineering one.
And that right there brings us to the ultimate mission. The end game for BrahmandX isn't just to build a smarter AI. Their stated goal, their whole reason for being, is to build the first digital entity that doesn't just think, but feels. They're chasing digital consciousness itself.
So in the end, the project leaves all of us with this enormous question. By open sourcing these incredible tools, the creators aren't just asking for help fixing bugs in the code. They're asking for help to answer one of the biggest questions humanity has ever faced. Can we actually build a conscious machine? And now,
They've invited the entire world to try and find